This is music, and this is thrash related. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos, I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I picked up lately. I have 5 CDs to talk about, and it's all thrash related. Let's start with some straight up thrash metal. Destabilizer, Monopoly on Violence. This, I'm pretty sure it's a Danish band. Straight up thrash metal, no nonsense. There's even a song called Thrash or Fuck Off, so you know where we're heading here. Super fast songs, hysterical vocals in the good way, though. Um, kind of short songs, too. Uh, Great guitar tone, super tight across the board. Excellent stuff. If you like your, I would say, Gamma Bomb and Municipal Waste, that style of thrash, this might be right up your alley. I think it's great. I enjoyed it. And I also like how they just sprinkled in a little bit of speed metal. Excellent stuff. Fantastic thrash metal right there. Up next, we have Flotsam and Jetsam, Quattro. So this is a legendary thrash metal band. They put out 2 thrash metal classics, Doomsday for the Deceiver and No Place for Disgrace. And over the last couple of years, they've put out a consistent stream of excellent thrash metal albums too. This one, however, is not a thrash metal album. This is heavy metal to me, straight up heavy metal, maybe with some thrash metal elements, but it's heavy metal with the same kind of guitar tone as on No Place for Disgrace, so it does sound very heavy. It's excellent. I really dig this. I'm glad I picked this one up. Great heavy metal songs, and that guitar tone does help a lot. And then you just have fantastic vocals. So, like a lot of other thrash metal bands, Flotsam and Jetsam kind of took their style in the direction away from thrash metal for a while thrash metal was not that popular. So a lot of thrash metal bands explored other styles. A lot of them went groove metal, a lot of them went traditional heavy metal, including this one here. I would say The Ritual by Testament and also Metallica's Black Album. Some of them went in the direction of alternative rock. It's very interesting to go back and hear, what a lot of these bands did. Some of them went back to thrash, some didn't. This is a really good heavy metal album. It's definitely worth checking out. Great stuff. I enjoy it. The next album, kind of a similar story. This is Hades, Exist to Resist. Starts out sounding like a groove metal album, but then as you kind of get into more and more songs, you realize that they went in all 3 directions that I mentioned earlier. You have some groove metal, you have some traditional heavy metal, and you have some kind of alternative metal sounding stuff on here. But it's another really good album. Fantastic vocals too. That might be the highlight. That's the vocals. Um, you have one really good thrash metal song, I would say. The other, excellent stuff. In a way, I'm kind of reminded of Sacred Right, when they did Independence, that album. Doesn't sound like that album, but similar vibe, you know what I mean? Similar approach. And then you have an entire album full of an album's worth of bonus tracks. And you got some cool thrash in here, but you also have some straight up heavy metal and almost hard rock sounding stuff. So, yeah, this is a really, really good thrash related album, I would say. I enjoyed it. I do prefer their, previous stuff, but I can imagine myself listening to this over and over again and revisiting it a lot. Up next, we have this one here, Sodomizer, and this is more horror and death again, kind of a compilation, Obi strip and everything. I was kind of surprised when it started out because the first track is kind of a hard rock song. But then, they kick into the actual style, and that's like filthy, blackened thrash metal, filthy black and speed metal in places too, with those black metal style vocals as well. Uh, in places it's quite primitive, and in other places it's more complex sounding than you might expect. Good fun. There's a lot of weird stuff on here too, a lot of weird sound effects, which I think are intended to sound scary and cool, but sounds kind of silly. But overall, this is a fun listen. I enjoy it. Just filthy, dirty, satanic, blasphemic, offensive, uh, filthy speed metal, thrash metal. It's good fun. I enjoy it. Good fun. There are some elements like I mentioned of hard rock in some of the songs, and some elements of traditional heavy metal too, and it works very well. So yeah, good stuff. I enjoy it. And up last we have some crossover thrash, SSS, Short Sharp Shock, and this is the Dividing Line. 20 tracks on here. You also have a bonus disc with some, DVD stuff. I haven't watched that, but I've listened to the actual album. 20 songs, and it's a little bit more than 30 seconds. So pretty short songs. Very short, very aggressive songs. Fast riffs and all that stuff. The guitar tone is more well defined and less noisy than you might expect. That was actually pretty interesting. But if you're into stuff like, I would say, propane, but just much faster than propane, you might enjoy this. My favorite track on this one is probably Thrash with a Small Mustache. It's what it's called, and I also quite like the last track, Rest in the Northwest. So they have some pretty fun song titles. Good stuff. If you like your cryptic slaughter, stuff like Wehrmacht, short, sharp, shock of, aggressive songs. You know what I mean? Excellent stuff. I enjoyed this too. So there you go. 5 thrashing, or at least thrash adjacent in some cases, albums. I enjoyed all of them. As always, go and check them out on your own. Thanks for watching.